My journey with blackberry species. When I think about blackberries, I picture summer mornings in a lush garden, dew still clinging to the leaves, and the air filled with a sweet, earthy aroma. Over the years, I've grown fond of exploring the intricate world of blackberry species. The diversity in these plants, from their growth habits to their fruit flavors, never ceases to amaze me. Understanding blackberry basics. Blackberries belong to the genus Rubus in the Rosaceae family. They're perennial plants with biennial canes, meaning their stems live for 2 years. The first year, the canes focus on growing. In the second, they flower and fruit before dying back. This cycle fascinates me. It's a reminder of nature's rhythms and resilience. Does blackberry have seeds? Blackberries as tiny seeds often get stuck in my teeth. But I don't mind because their juicy sweetness is worth the minor inconvenience. Can dogs eat blackberries? When I first gave my dog blackberries, he happily gobbled them up, and I found that they make a great occasional treat for him due to their natural sweetness. Are blackberries good for you? Incorporating blackberries into my diet has been a delicious way to boost my intake of vitamins and antioxidants, making me feel more energetic and refreshed. Can rabbits eat blackberries? I once shared a few blackberries with my rabbit, and he nibbled on them with great enthusiasm, which was a delightful sight, though I keep it as a rare treat due to their sugar content. How many carbs in blackberries? Blackberries have become a staple in my low-carb diet, as they only contain about 14 grams of carbs per cup, fitting perfectly into my meal plans. How to grow blackberries? Growing blackberries in my garden has been a rewarding experience. I found that they thrive in full sun with well-drained soil, and seeing the first fruits of the season is always exciting. How to make blackberry jam? Making blackberry jam at home fills my kitchen with a sweet, inviting aroma. I love the process of simmering the berries with sugar and lemon juice until they reach the perfect consistency. How to wash blackberries? I gently rinse my blackberries under cold running water in a colander, ensuring that any dirt or tiny bugs are washed away without bruising the delicate berries. Are blackberries acidic? Eating blackberries often leaves a slight tang on my tongue, reminding me of their natural acidity, which I find refreshingly zesty. How to store blackberries? I store my fresh blackberries in the refrigerator in a breathable container, which helps keep them fresh and plump for up to a week. When are blackberries in season? I look forward to late summer every year when blackberries are in peak season, allowing me to enjoy them at their sweetest and juiciest. Can bearded dragons eat blackberries? My friend's bearded dragon seemed to enjoy the occasional blackberry, making it a fun and colorful addition to its varied diet. Can cats eat blackberries? Although my cat was curious about the blackberries I was eating, she didn't seem interested in tasting them, which was probably for the best. Do blackberries grow on trees? The blackberry bushes in my garden, with their sprawling canes, clearly show that blackberries grow on bushes, not trees, often entangling with each other. How to freeze blackberries? I freeze blackberries by spreading them out on a baking sheet first to prevent clumping, then transferring them to a freezer bag, preserving their flavor for months. Can guinea pigs eat blackberries? Giving blackberries to my guinea pig was a delightful experience. He enjoyed nibbling on them, though I keep it as a special treat because of the sugar content. Can chickens eat blackberries? My backyard chickens love when I toss them a handful of blackberries. They peck at them enthusiastically, making for a fun and nutritious snack. How to make blackberry jelly? Making blackberry jelly at home is a satisfying process. Straining out the seeds results in a smooth, spreadable treat that's perfect on toast. How to make blackberry syrup? I enjoy making blackberry syrup by simmering the berries with sugar and water until thickened, which creates a perfect topping for pancakes and waffles. How to make blackberry wine? Fermenting blackberries into wine in my kitchen has been an enjoyable experiment, resulting in a rich, fruity beverage that's perfect for sharing with friends. Can hamsters eat blackberries? When I gave my hamster a tiny piece of blackberry, he seemed to enjoy it, making it a delightful addition to his occasional treats. Do squirrels eat blackberries? I've watched squirrels in my yard steal blackberries right off the bushes, clearly enjoying the sweet fruit as much as I do. Do blackberries have thorns? Navigating the thorny canes of my blackberry bushes can be a challenge, but the reward of fresh, juicy berries makes it all worthwhile. Do blackberries need a trellis? Training my blackberry canes on a trellis has helped manage their growth and makes harvesting the berries much easier. What do blackberries look like? Blackberries, with their deep purple-black hue and plump, clustered drupelets, always look so inviting and juicy. Can parakeets eat blackberries? Offering my parakeet a piece of blackberry turned into a colorful and nutritious snack that he pecked at with interest. Can rats have blackberries? My pet rats enjoy the occasional blackberry, eagerly nibbling on the sweet fruit which I offer as a special treat. Do blackberries ripen after picking? I've noticed that blackberries don't ripen much after picking, so I always make sure to harvest them when they're fully ripe and sweet. Do blackberries stain teeth? Eating blackberries can sometimes leave a temporary purple stain on my teeth, but a good brushing takes care of it. Do deer eat blackberry bushes? In my garden, I've seen deer nibble on the blackberry bushes, enjoying the leaves and sometimes the berries themselves. How long are blackberries good for? Freshly picked blackberries last about a week in my fridge, though they rarely stay uneaten for that long in my house. How to make blackberry juice? I make blackberry juice by blending the berries with a bit of water and straining out the seeds, resulting in a refreshing, vibrant drink. Can goats eat blackberry bushes? The goats on my friend's farm love munching on blackberry bushes, thorns and all, making short work of the overgrown brambles. Can tortoises eat blackberries? My tortoise enjoys the occasional blackberry, and it's fun to watch him slowly savor the sweet treat. Can ducks have blackberries? Feeding blackberries to ducks at the pond is always a fun activity. They eagerly gobble up the sweet fruit. Blackberry versus raspberry. In my garden, blackberries have always been more prolific and less temperamental than raspberries, which seem to struggle with diseases in my area, while the blackberries keep producing juicy fruits year after year. Blackberry versus dewberry. I've found dewberries to be a bit more delicate compared to blackberries, which are hardier and produce a larger fruit. The dewberries in my yard often seem to suffer more from pests and diseases. Blackberry versus mulberry. Blackberries have a more robust flavor and tend to produce a bigger yield than mulberries in my experience. While mulberries are sweet, they lack the same depth of flavor and are less consistent in their fruit production. Blackberry versus boysenberry. Boysenberries, with their unique tangy flavor, are a delightful treat, but they don't seem to produce as reliably as blackberries in my garden, which have a more consistent yield and easier maintenance. Blackberry versus marionberry. Marionberries have a fantastic, complex flavor that I absolutely love, but they can be finicky to grow compared to blackberries, which seem to thrive with less fuss in my garden. Blackberry versus poison ivy. I've had my share of encounters with poison ivy while picking blackberries, and I have to say, the itchiness from poison ivy makes me appreciate the trouble-free enjoyment of blackberries even more. Blackberry versus blueberry. Blueberries are a different kind of berry experience, with a sweeter and less tangy flavor compared to blackberries. However, I've found blackberries to be more forgiving of my gardening mistakes and consistently fruitful. Blackberry versus poison oak. Similar to poison ivy, poison oak has been an unwelcome presence in my berry picking adventures, making me even more grateful for the blackberry bushes that don't come with an itchy aftermath. Blackberry versus blackcurrant. Blackcurrants have a strong, tart flavor that is interesting but not quite as versatile as blackberries. I prefer the blackberry's balance of sweetness and tang, which seems to fit more easily into a variety of dishes. Blackberry versus crowdstrike. Comparing blackberries to crowdstrike might be a bit of a stretch, but if we're talking about reliability, I'd say blackberries are the true winner in my garden, unlike the tech world's cybersecurity solutions. Blackberry versus elderberry. Elderberries are great for making syrups and have a distinctive flavor, but I've found blackberries to be easier to grow and maintain, with a more consistent fruit yield and less hassle. Blackberry versus huckleberry. Huckleberries have a unique taste that's hard to compare, but blackberries win for me in terms of yield and ease of growth. While huckleberries are a special treat, they're not as reliable or abundant in my garden. A personal reflection. Growing blackberries has been more than just a gardening endeavor. It's a journey. These plants teach patience and reward effort. From selecting species to nurturing young canes and finally harvesting the fruit, every step feels meaningful. If you're considering adding blackberries to your garden, my advice is simple. Start small. Choose a species suited to your region and experiment. Whether you opt for a native species with its wild charm or a cultivated hybrid for convenience, you'll be embarking on a rewarding adventure. Blackberries, to me, are a symbol of abundance and resilience. They remind me that even amidst challenges, there's always sweetness to be found.